All right, so Algebra 1 lesson 4-3, writing slope-intercept from points. Today's date is Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. Who would like to read our objective? Objective. Diego, go for it.
Objective, write the equation of a line from a graph and from 2 points.
There it is. So I'm going to be giving you two types of problems. One type of problem are like example 1, where I give you a graph. Example 2, I give you a graph. And then the second type of problem is going to be like example 3 and example 4, where I give you 2 points and you need to be able to tell me the entire equation. All right, so slope-intercept form, we're using it over and over again. It is one of the most common forms that you have in Algebra 1. What are the m and b in this equation? Someone can say, oh yeah, m is this word. Alden? Slope. Thank you. And what about b? Diego? Y-intercept. Thank you. Helpful things to know about slope, since we're listing it up here. Does anyone have an equation? We have like a bunch of equations we can use. Yeah, Ripley. Oh, you're already on to the problem. And that is also, yeah, correct. You have it. I want to get the equation though, so I'll come back and talk about your answer in 1 second. Does anyone have an equation for slope before we move on from, or yeah, just from the notes into example 1? What is slope? Any definition that you have of slope? Same 2 people. Yeah, Ripley again. Rise over run. There's one of them. Rise over run. These are all slope. Diego, give me another equation for slope.
Is it delta y over delta x?
Perfect. Delta y over delta x. Someone else give me another equation for slope. There's one more that's very, very useful, especially for today's lesson where there's a subtraction in the numerator and the denominator. Zeke?
I was going to say change y over change x, but that's already
Ah, yeah. Darn, already taken. Yeah, do the next one.
Wait, never mind.
Okay. The other equation that you can use here is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1, which is essentially saying the same thing as change in y over change in x. This is a more formulaic way of doing that. All right, and Ripley told us for example 1, his answer. I will repeat his answer in a second, but everyone else, take a look at example 1. Tell me what is the y-intercept, what is the slope, and then figure out what the equation is. All right, I have a feeling that most people probably won't remember Ripley's answers, so we can call in someone new and compare it to his answer. Giorgio, you want to do it?
Wait, we're just saying the equation is?
Yes, please.
Okay, y equals 2 over 5 minus 3.
2 over 5 minus 3. Really, really close. It wasn't exactly the same answer that Ripley got, though. The numbers are all correct, but the equation is missing a piece. Do you see it, Giorgio?
Oh.
X. Yeah, 2 over 5x. Yeah, there it is. Cool. And yeah, this is exactly what Ripley got. And just making sure where everyone, so that everyone knows where these numbers are coming from. -3 is where we intersect this y-axis, this vertical line, this vertical axis here. It intersects at -3, so -3 is our value of b. And then in terms of slope, we're looking for 2 lattice points. A lattice point just means it crosses one of the crosshairs here. So I have a lattice point here at 5, -1. I can use this lattice point over here that was the y-intercept. at 0, -3. And then from those two lattice points, I can draw a triangle, a right triangle that says we went right 5, so +5 to the right, and then +2 up. And then using our equation for slope, it's change in y divided by the change in x. It's this 2/5. So those two numbers, the 2 and the +5, gave us our slope. So I'm pausing to make sure everyone understands this because everyone is about to do it on their own and you're going to check with a neighbor. Any questions before we move on? Okay, let's move on to the example number 2. Find the equation of this line. Ripley's already got it. And I'm not going to call on you. I want you to check with someone around you. So you can either check with Haiti, Carlos, or Alden. Everyone try example 2 right now, please. Yeah, Yesenia, talk to me.
Is it y equals 4 over -4x?
Y equals 4 over -4x plus 4. You're correct. Yeah, that is an answer. It's not simplified though. Can you simplify that for us?
Is it y equals 2 over -2x plus 4?
Even, yeah, so you simplified it even more, but you can go even further. So you can say y is equal to 1 over -1x plus 4, and you can go even further. Because 1 over -1, I'll still leave it with Yesenia unless you want to give it to someone else.
Y equals -x
plus 4, yeah, there it is. Yeah, so about half the class made the mistake of thinking that this was a +4 over a +4. So can someone else explain why this is a -4 or why there should be a negative slope instead of a positive slope? And I kind of have heard from Yesenia and Ripley a lot. I'd like to call on someone else, sorry. Why is this negative? And bonus points if it's a person that can answer that got this one wrong, because it means that you found your own mistake. Jose?
Because it's going 1 down and 1 to right.
Yeah, so if I zoom in here and look at the last point, I went 1 down and 1 to the right. So which one of these is negative? Is it to the right or is it down? Yeah, so it's that -1 and +1. And it actually doesn't matter which order, which one is on the numerator or denominator, you'll still get the same answer, but you should do your change in y, then divided by your change in x. You should have -1 divided by 1. Or you could have done it the reverse of that. You could have said, go left 1. So if I went left, then that would be the -1, and then I went up 1, that would be +1. Either way, you'll still get -1 for the slope. Yeah, so that one was a little bit tricky. Can you guys give me a fist of 5 on how well you think you can find an equation from a graph? Example 1 and example 2, fist of 5. I'm seeing 5s, 5s, 3, 4, 5, 3. Jose, Carlos, fist of 5. 5. ¿Cómo mucho entiendes estos problemas? Ejemplo 1 y 2 de 5 dedos. 4, okay. 4, got it. All right, let's move on to a new type of problem then. We're on the back side. Okay, so these, I'm only going to give you 2 points, and I'm not going to give you them on a graph, just like that. Okay, so in general, here is your procedure. When you're given 2 points, you're first going to find the slope, and then after you find the slope, find b by plugging in. I will help you do example 3, and then everyone will do example 4 on their own. So first, I'm going to find slope. That is my first step up here. So down here, I'm going to find slope. So I'm going to write down slope is equal to, and I'm going to use the equation y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. I realize people in the back can't really see, so let me zoom in. You can also use change in y over change in x. You can use many, many techniques here. So who can help me fill in this formula? Ripley's ready to go. I haven't called on everyone, though. I haven't heard from Braden. I haven't heard from Haiti, Ashley. I think those are the three. Oh, Carlos, so 4. One of you 4 needs to help me out. You want to give it a shot, Ashley? Yeah, we're just plugging in, like, for example, the 2 y coordinates that we have are -2 and 4. Which one goes where for the numerators? That's the question right now. So one of those 4, again, Haiti, Braden, Ashley, Carlos, help me plug into my formula. Sorry, Ripley, I'm gonna call on someone new. You gonna go for it, Ashley? You look like you're so eager. Maybe it's because you have such good posture and you're just sitting up straight. Eddie don't want to. Hades raising her hand too. I'll give it to Haiti. Go for it. So tell me exactly what to write. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to be using -2 and 4. Perfect. Okay, so make sure that when we're doing this, we're doing it the correct way. So we're all doing first point minus second point, which means when we do the bottom, we should also be doing first point minus second point. All right, so first point should be over here between our 3 remaining volunteers, Ashley, Carlos. Yes, Braden. -4 minus 4, there it is. Okay, I'm still needing one of these 2 volunteers, Ashley or Carlos, to help simplify this now. Ah, you're right. It should be in -1. Yeah, because it's our x coordinates. Yeah, good catch. You want to do the math? Oh, sure. So it should be a 1 or -4 minus a -1 like that. Yeah, nice. All right, I need someone to simplify the numerator and denominator now that we have this set up correct. I know, I'm sorry, Yesenia, I can't. Oh, is it a question? Today's date is the 3rd of November, 11/3/2020. All right, Ashley or Carlos, help me simplify. Let's say we'll give Ashley the numerator and Carlos the denominator. Carlos va sumar -4 más 1. No es 5. Las signos están opuestos, así es 1 menos 4 o 4 menos 1 con un menos. That's a good way of saying it, yeah. Sí, there, yeah. There it is. Y es -3 porque negativo es más grande. -4 es más grande a 1, ¿sí? Okay, and actually, yeah, and it is indeed -6. And now I'll open it up to everyone. What is my final slope? Ripley. 2/1, yes, and that can simplify to just 2, yeah. Actually, I can kind of stay zoomed in here. Okay. We did step 1. Step 1 was find the slope. We can give ourselves a giant check if you'd like. Now we're on to step number 2. We need to plug in the slope, x and y, and then you'll solve for b. What do I mean by that? You'll set up the original equation, y equals mx plus b. That is slope-intercept form that we've been going over and over again. So I'm going to plug in everything that I have. I know that my slope, my m, is 2. So I'm going to come down here. Here's my equal to sign. My m has been substituted out for a 2. What about x and y? Mr. Snell in the instructions said I need to plug in for x and plug in for y. You can choose any 2 sets. I can choose to plug in -1, 4, or I can plug in -4, -2. Plugging in either one of these will work. So I'm just going to randomly decide to plug in -1, 4 because one of them is positive and I'm kind of scared of negatives. So I'm going to plug in -1 for x. I'm going to plug in 4 for y. So here's my y. My y is being substituted out for a 4. So I can say 4 here. I'm just reading off my equation. Y equals m. So this is 4 equals 2. I need to write my x. My x is being substituted out for a -1. So 2 times -1 and then plus b. I don't know what b is, so I have to leave it plus b. I've substituted out everything except for the b. And again, arrows always help. The -1 was plugged in to the x. The 4 was plugged in to the y, and the 2 was plugged in to the m. This is probably the hardest part of the lesson today, which is why I'm giving so much time for you guys to understand what's going on here. Make sure you know how to do this for the next problem. We're not done yet. We just have a little bit more math, simplification, solving. Okay, I'm going to move on. Right now I have 2 times -1 plus b. Who can simplify the multiplication here? Anyone? Zeke. There it is, -2, and I can change to a different color here. -2 plus b is equal to 4. And my final step to solve for b, I do what to both sides? Yesenia. There it is. I'm going to add 2 to both sides, +2, +2, and therefore those cancel out, and b is equal to 6. So we have all the pieces to our equation. Can someone now tell me what is my equation? I have the m, I have the b. What is my full final answer? Ripley. Y is equal to, did you say negative or positive 2? -2, but okay. -2x plus 6, and then we box it. Final answer. Yeah, Jose? Why should it be a positive 2? Oh, yeah, so we have a positive 2 up here. Yeah, Ripley, you said a -2. Did you get a -2 for your m? Okay. Yeah, perfect. So just a positive 2x plus 6. And we're done. Good catch, guys. All right. Ask me questions about example number 3. Otherwise, everyone is going to do example 4 on their own and then begin on the homework. Question, Diego, go.
When you said the y2 minus y1, wasn't it supposed to be like the -2 was the y1?
Yeah, so it could go either way. This is just a formula to say do one point minus the other. It doesn't matter the direction in which you go. I agree that y, if you assume that this 1, 4, this negative 1, 4 on the right, if that is your second point, then y2 should really be 4. But that way also works. As long as you're doing 1 point minus the other, 1 point minus the other in the same order, then you'll still get the right answer. Great question. Yeah, any other questions? Okay, I will leave this up on the board, but I want to show you guys, we are doing example number 4 right now, completing our equation with slope-intercepts style, I guess, that form for these 2 points, 12, negative 11, and negative 4, 1. I'm going to be walking around in the room. Good luck, guys. All right. I need to do just a few volunteers. Can someone walk me all the way through slope? How did someone start out with slope? The majority of you have the correct slope now, so you should feel confident in your answer. Yeah, Haiti, go for it. Negative 11 minus 1 over 12 minus negative 4. Perfect. You got the double negative in there. What does that simplify to? Over positive 16. And yeah, and that reduces to 0.75. Nice. And then just for the rest of us, as a fraction, this is the same thing as 3/4. Both of these are perfectly okay. Whichever form you like. If you like decimals, fractions, what have you. Yeah, Diego.
Would it be a negative because the plus negative?
It would be a negative, yeah. Because it's a negative divided by a positive, and a negative divided by positive is a negative. So we just have to slap on this negative here, and now we should have the correct answer. Yeah, Ripley?
Did you simplify that?
Into what?
Like, would it be 1/4?
Not quite 1/4, because if I have the fraction negative 3/4, there's nothing I can divide the top and bottom by that will make these a whole number. So it has to be one of those two, unfortunately. Okay, and then from here, I need to plug into my equation y equals mx plus b. So again, slope, I can put an m under here. M is slope, which means this negative 3/4 or this negative 0.75, that is our value of m. And these numbers 12, negative 11 are a little bit too big for me, so I'm going to cross those out, and I would prefer to use the negative 4, 1, but both of them will work. They're both on the line. All right, so last volunteer, who can walk me through this process to find b? I know a lot of us have already moved on to con. Yeah, Alden.
So you put the x and the y and the slope.
Yeah, so what's the x?
The x, well, I used 4, negative 4.
Negative 4. Okay, so it's this x right here. Okay.
And then for my m, I used negative 3/4.
3/4.
And then for my y, I used
And y is going to be the 1. All right, perfect. What's the next step? Can you keep doing it, Alden? If you don't mind.
I times or divided negative 3/4 over negative 4. I don't know how to say it because it's a fraction.
Yeah, so I can write off to the side too to help us out. So negative 3/4 times negative 4 is the same thing as times negative 4 over 1. And then what would you do with that? So there's two different paths that you can go. The longer path is just to multiply the tops and multiply the bottoms and then simplify. That will work every time. Another tricky way of doing it is seeing that there's a 4 on the bottom in the denominator, a 4 in the numerator, the top, and you can cross cancel those. It's whatever you'd prefer. What would you like to do, Alden? you want to just multiply them out?
Well, I did it differently. I don't know if I did it right.
Okay, tell me how you did it.
So I divided the -4 by the bottom 4. 4 on the bottom of the section.
Yep, okay,
And then I got -1.
okay,
And then I times that by 3.
okay. And then you got
3.
Yeah. +3. Yeah, I'm curious if you're doing the math right, because the way that you're saying it is a little bit off, but it is the right answer. Yeah, you should get a 3 from that. And then I should probably use a different color here. What am I using? Green. 3 plus b is equal to 1 on the left-hand side. Yeah, that's totally correct. Let me make sure that everyone else can follow that too. So another way of saying this is you multiply the numerator by the numerator. So this -3 times the -4, and that will get you a -12. Or sorry, a +12. A negative times a negative is a positive. So -3 times the -4 is a +12. And then a +4 times a +1 is a +4. So just multiply the tops, multiply the bottom. Once I have this, all I need to do is reduce. I can divide the top and bottom by 4. So 12 divided by 4, 4 divided by 4. And the top is going to be 3, bottom is going to be 1, and that reduces to just 3, which is the exact same answer that Alden gave us. And the last step, Alden.
-3.
And you get b is equal to -2. And there it is. We have both pieces to our puzzle. We have the slope, the m, we have our y-intercept, our b. We can write our final answer as y is equal to -3/4, which is our slope, x, plus our b, which is just -2. And I know a lot of people are making a slightly, I guess it's a tiny mistake by saying it's -3/4 x plus a -2. You're correct, but you need to simplify that to just say -2 instead of plus a -2. That is our final answer, and we box it. And that concludes our notes for today. You guys all have 2 homework assignments that are due by tomorrow. Again, pay attention to those due dates, and I'll be walking around the room and helping you guys.